talk won't do. Stand tall won't move. Taking over with the crew. It's over when we come through. It's over when we come through. This ain't really nothing.
Welcome to the Black Consultant, baby. This is JP, John Paul. Good day, beautiful people. This is the Black Consultant, and I'm your host, the one and only, yours truly, JP. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a special treat. Because today's episode, I got my main man, Zach the Guru, the Adonis. He's been out the country performing some Out Here Brother shows with the Grammy Award winning producer Hula Mahone. He's the man behind Bad Advice for Good People. He's performing groups back in the day, singing. He got his own song with the Grammy Award winning producer. So we just gonna let him tell his side of the story, and we're gonna make it do what it do. Did I leave anything out? Did I didn't touch on anything? If you want to touch on it,
my resume go a little bit deeper, but I know you gonna ask some questions. But you put my top stuff up there, and I like that. You put my top stuff up there.
All right. Well, tell us about Zach, the Guru, the Adonis, the name behind that.
The Adonis. Well, giving bad advice to good people was a joke we started years ago. Because I used to always tell people, because my last name is Love. If don't nobody know that, I used to always be like, man, yo, you got a last name like that. They be like, man, are you serious? I like, that's my real last name. I used to have to pull my ID out and pull and say, hey, my last name Love. So I'm gonna tell you anything. So at that point, it just kept going. You see me, I got a shirt on that say the Guru. I'm the Guru. I give bad advice to good people.
Wow. You was hilarious, man. So, Guru.
Go.
Yeah. Let's talk about some
Let's
things,
go.
man. Let's talk about some things.
Let's go.
You from New York?
Indeed.
Born and raised?
Born, lived there until I was 8 years old, and then came to Chicago.
You like Kanye, grew up in Chicago, left at 8.
I mean, but at the end of the day, my dad that raised me, I was adopted. But my dad that raised me, he had a business in New York and he had a business in Chicago. So I ended up coming to Chicago, but every year I could go to New York. So it was like, you still from there. No matter what.
Right. So you went to college out there. Did you go to college out there?
NYU.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that, man. Tell us about the college days.
NYU was it was a blur. It was a blur. It was just more of a, just getting education and figuring things out. That's all I can say about it, because I knew my dad passed away in 93. So it was like, man, just go and finish and do your thing.
You mentioned your dad. You say he passed away. So how was that process like for you? You know what I'm saying? Just talk about that. You say you was adopted, so let's
I was adopted.
I was adopted.
My dad was born in 1919. Okay. My dad was a sergeant in the war, World War II. So everybody knew, like, when I would go to school, my dad, my mom come pick me up from school, they'd be like, your grandma outside. And I would get into fights. Over that. I'd be like, man, that's my mama. What you saying? But I didn't know.
The spicy?
Yeah. I was like,
Popeye's always open. And so talk about your mom a little bit, because I know you.
Me and my mom was tight. My mom died when I was 24, and I had never learned how to wash clothes until she died.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, literally. So it was like growing up with older parents, I just had to be like, man, why everybody mama look young and my mama look like grandma?
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But it was still my mama.
Yeah, okay.
It was still
Let's talk about when we're gonna get into the you singing back in the day, but let's talk about growing up in the church and how did you get into the singing and
growing up in the church that I grew up in, Trinity All Nations, um, 96 in Vincennes, 104th in Michigan. Growing up in the church, they forced you into the singing thing. They forced you to do something. Cause I ain't gonna never call it a cult. I ain't gonna never say any of that.
you think you
But
gonna call it a cult, you gonna do that?
I ain't gonna never do that. But it was like they forced you into doing something. You had to be an usher at the door. If you ain't gonna get in the choir, you gotta be a nurse. You gotta be a armor bearer. You had to do something in church.
So
Church of God in Christ.
So how you get into the so did you like it singing or was you,
Singing was kind of pushed on me. It was like we were in like a junior choir, and they were like, man, just get up there. They didn't care if you sounded terrible. They didn't care.
right.
They didn't care. They just wanted you involved. But I started realizing that I'm like, man, I kind of like singing.
It used to be I just found out, you know what's funny? I found out that you used to be assistant pastor.
I did back in the
The
day.
guru, the honest, give bad advice
I
for
did.
good people.
I did.
Assistant pastor.
Pastor Larry Roberts Sr., which is my family, he gave me the opportunity to minister.
Uh-huh.
He gave me the opportunity, and I took the opportunity because I know the Bible, because we was at church 4 days a week. So you kind of learn the Bible.
Yeah,
You got to learn the Bible.
You know,
And he
and
gave
the first service you got another service behind that.
Hey, no, I ain't gonna tell the story about over there. No. You ain't put me in the trick bag. But I will say, like I say, learning from my church background, even though I thought it was strict, they didn't want us playing basketball, they didn't want us going to movies, the girls couldn't wear pants and all of that. I still learned that we gonna always be our own people. We gonna always be our own people. And then as we got older, we started being our own people. Larry Roberts Jr. runs probably 10 barber colleges and all kinds of businesses because of the fact that he learned from his dad, because his dad had a rib joint. He had a rib joint in Matson, right up the street, right across the street from Kenny's. I'm gonna name drop on this podcast. So I hope all of us get some compensation from all the name dropping I'm about to do today. So it was just different. Go.
So let's talk about singing in groups, because
singing in groups.
Mahone, the Grammy Award producer, he mentioned that, back in the day you were singing and doing what you do. So tell us about that, man.
Phil Davis and Glenn Wright gave me an opportunity to sing with public announcement. I'm not the greatest dancer. Me and you done had dance contests, but it's just for fun. But I'm not the greatest. I'm not the greatest dancer, but they gave me, because of my voice, they gave me a chance. They was like, man, just come and sing. Glenn and Phil Davis, shout out to them. And, it was just, it just woke me up again. It woke me up again. But singing became a backstory for me, because of the fact that I had a family.
Man, I just noticed you got the goddamn lava lamp over here. Man, what is the purpose of this lava lamp?
VIP, baby. VIP. When people used to come in here, I used to have a red rope around me. Like I'm the superstar, bro. They say
Man,
fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, baby.
And you got it on too.
I got it on.
Oh,
I got it on. I got it on. But going back to the singing thing, I want to tell you, man, I come from like what they say, 6 degrees of separation. That's what they say.
I'm a little slow. Tell me about 6 separation.
6 degrees of separation means like a Rexel Hardy. Like I said, I'm on name drop on here. Rexel Hardy is a dude. His mama got a church on Stony Island. But Rexel Hardy was Mary J. Blige's MD, which means musical director. I used to sing with Reggie. Reggie used to live upstairs in his parents' house. Reggie was the musical director for Boys to Men. Again, I'm gonna bring my cousin Larry up again. Larry, he do all this barbering and all of that, but he's a musician.
Right.
He has played for Ricky Dillard, Albertina Walker, all these people. So it's like Calvin Rogers, another one of my cousins, Beers Bolton, played for Brandy. So it's like I'm 6 degrees from touching all these stars that people think are stars.
Okay. So just talk. You ever did some singing in clubs and bars?
Man, please. The Clique, I was the man.
You was the man?
I was the man in the Clique. I was the man. We had a band called Family Bass.
They used to kick you off stage too.
No, not there. They only kicked me off stage when I was doing comedy.
Why they kick you off stage when you was doing comedy, man?
I
We're gonna talk about that a little bit later.
But singing, I never got kicked off stage.
You never got.
And I ain't the greatest singer, bro. But I'm a performer.
But you a performer. And let's talk about this, because how did you get into that? You know that.
I gave up on the fact that I still love God and all of that. I hope that ain't no bad content, because, people be funny. But, I gave up on the gospel side of singing because I thought R&B was more my thing. We started a group in 1992. We started a group.
I was in the back of a Mustang.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. 1992, I was a sophomore in high school, and we started a group called Chemistry. Verdell, Allen, Ernest, God bless his soul, he passed away, and me. And then Markel would help us out. Markel is my brother. He would help us out. And we just started singing, and then we started winning talent shows. Back in the day, high schools used to have talent shows and all that kind of stuff. We was winning every year. Did you win any of them? We won every year, bro.
You won every year?
But we sang at the graduation.
You sang at the graduation?
we got to be on the big stage of graduation. Kenny, he plays for Martha Wash out there in Vegas. One of my homeboys. He was our drummer. Like I said, Reggie, I brought his name up. He was an MD for Boys to Men. So it was like, man, we got talent. We just didn't have the media that we're doing today. We didn't have this. No, we didn't have none
you over
of
there
this.
coordinating with them shades over there. You got shades on in there.
I got on Versace, baby. I got on Versace.
You got some shades on in this light, man.
I got on Versace's, baby. But at the end of the day, we realized that if we would have had Alan, I throw Alan Conley in there. He a reverend now. So I try to, he's the godfather of both my kids. So I try to keep that tight. But he was part of our group. But at the end of the day, bro, if we had what your platform is, you the same age as my oldest son. And I'm doing an interview with you. And I truly appreciate you putting me on your platform.
Now you got the juice, baby. You Google the other
Hey, man, I truly appreciate.
I had to get
My youngest son does music too.
Uh-huh.
My oldest son does music.
Mhm.
My youngest son does music. Tom Fakari on Instagram. Connor Rain on Instagram. It's in their blood because they daddy was really something, but I gave up my life
for them.
for them. I went and got a 9 to 5 because I wasn't gonna be able to say I'm going on tour this weekend, and then that's the only money I make.
Right.
You know, I had to get a 9 to 5.
But you back now, man. You know you been overseas,
I'm back, man.
and you got your own song. Let's talk about that, man. You got your own song. You been overseas with the Grammy Award winning producer.
Man,
come on now.
Let me tell you something about Hula Mahone. Let me tell you something about him, man. And I'm gonna give him his flowers. Hula made me believe that it ain't too late. It ain't too late to make it. It ain't too late. He told me, he said, man, come over. Maurice Joshua, another Grammy Award winner, he said, Maurice can't go with me overseas. Do you got a passport? And I was like, of course I do.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, let's go.
Okay.
And going overseas with Hula, I'm gonna give him his flowers. I'm looking in whatever camera I need to look in. I want him to know that he gave me belief that, man, it's never too late to be the can I curse on here?
Go ahead, man.
The shit. He said it's never too late, bro. Let's go over here and see how it go. And one thing about me, anybody that know the guru, I love to party, I love to kick it. But I didn't have a drink, I didn't have a smoke until we were done doing business. I wasn't up there performing like I used to. Let me give you this. I don't know if you ever heard of Wild Wild Records. I used to do some work with them. Wild Wild Records back in the day. We used to be up. Wow, we used to really be. It was like we up there, just talking and slurring. But Hula made me realize that at almost 50, I can be professional, bro.
Yeah, y'all made a song. Mind you, back here at the shop.
We made the song right here at Eduardo Leamon.
Talk about your single, man.
What You Won't Do for Love, man, always been one of my favorite songs in the whole world. A lot of people didn't know it was a white dude singing that song.
Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't know. We did the song, and Hula was like, man, this gonna be something.
It was hot.
Man.
I gotta give you props. Man. It was hot. It was nice.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do, bro. But again, man, humble beginnings mean something, man, as far as knowing that I quit music at 20 when I could have really been out on the road and doing my thing. But I needed that 80-hour check, bro.
Yeah.
I needed it.
And Hula known for putting people on. He put me on. He was my first interview. Hey, why you here today? So let's talk about comedy. But before we get into that, let's talk about your favorite celebrity crush. Let's talk about Betty White.
Betty White?
Yeah, you're a weird dude. You're a weird dude. You're a weird dude. You crushing on that old woman like that.
Betty White.
You
Betty
crushing on
White.
that old woman like that.
Hey, Betty White. I
you-
wanted to break her hip, man. I
What's
did.
wrong with you?
Betty White, she was funny. She was a white girl, and I liked her.
Yeah, you like white girls.
No, I'm not. Not only. I'm gonna say
You love the snowboard.
you on some TMZ. You on some TMZ shit.
Hey, look, what Dr. Umar say? Black women forever, snow bunnies never. Dr. Umar gonna get on you. Dr. Umar gonna get on you, bro.
Fuck you and Dr. Umar.
You supposed to be black queens forever.
Please. Nah, I like me some white.
You like playing in the snowflake?
I like Snowflake. And when she died, I got Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren about 80 now.
What's up with you old women, man?
I like older women, man.
They got 80 is not okay, bro.
They ain't got no periods. They ain't got no periods. And they just like to have fun.
So you go to the nursing home, put them on bed pins and all that?
It's been done.
You the nasty Negro. You the nasty Negro. You the nasty Negro.
This is one of the craziest interviews I've ever had.
You the nasty Negro. But let's get back.
But I like it though. I like it.
Look. Let's talk about Keith Washington, man. I heard you spent the day with Keith Washington. Talk about that.
I ain't spent a day with him. Keith Washington is one of my friends, bro.
Okay.
He's one of my friends. We did a play at the Regal Theater, like in, I want to say like 99. I was just singing background for him as he was an actor in the play. And we were behind the curtain singing, like the Tyler Perry type stuff. It was I can't think of the director at the time. But yeah, man.
It's something like Broadway, but not Broadway.
Way off Broadway if we on 79th and Stony Island.
You might have thought,
way off.
Look, you do some cocaine, you might think you at Broadway. Look.
Way off.
Bro. You was on Stony Island? You was in
we was at the Regal Theater and Shelley Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a play and they needed background singers. And I auditioned and I got it. And like I say, the people in the audience never saw us. But me and Keith became cool.
Uh-huh.
We became cool. It's like I can go to Vegas right now. Keith lives in Vegas. All of my friends will tell you. They was like, man, Keith come scoop me up. Like, man, he's like, this is my dude. Forget the tabloid bullshit. Keith is a cool dude, bro. Okay. I know you gotta censor that director. The director over, I'm looking at him right now. but I'm trying not to curse because of the fact that I don't curse on social media because of the fact that I used to be a minister. So, and I have a lot of people that be looking at my page. So I try my best not to. But they know I'm sitting up here with smoke, sitting up here with you with a drink and a lava lamp.
Funny you mentioned the smoke. What made you get into the cigar world and start
Cigar world was a thing. I met Ronnie. I'm gonna name drop him. I met Ronnie. I met Misty. I met a few people in the cigar world. Brian, aka that dude right there. And I just got into it, bro. I got into it. And it was like it wasn't no groups. I hope this don't stop y'all. It wasn't no groups. It wasn't no cliques. It was just people that just got together, cook some food, and smoke a cigar. And I thought the shit was awesome, bro. I'm part of the Smoke Fellas. Shout out to them. But But in the beginning, it wasn't even about that. It wasn't even about that. It was just about smoking.
Right. Okay. We can talk about this comedy. I want to touch on this. Your ass bombed, I heard.
I bombed.
You bombed. You got kicked off the stage.
Lord Byron, aka LB, shout out to him. I came back to the crib. I was shocked. When I tell y'all, I was shocked. Went out there and bombed. And I came back. LB was like, man.
How
like,
you do? How you do? That was a good show.
That was the quickest show.
Yeah, man, in your life. You still want to do?
Man, I'm still writing, man.
Still writing?
I'm still writing.
You're still writing?
Still writing.
Yeah, because for my 30th birthday bash, we putting together a Cigar Bourbon Talk comedy special.
Okay.
So, I got this joke I like to tell about my first time with the deaf girl.
That was, what was that, 2 weeks ago?
Nah, that wasn't 2 weeks ago, but here you go. Here you go. I get shit in, man. You act like I'm some sort of shop out here or something, man.
You gonna tell me about your first time 2 weeks ago?
No, but I had a joke with this deaf girl. I was saying how I made the deaf girl talk completely in English. She went from saying, to John Paul.
A deaf girl?
John Paul. You know what I'm saying? I made
So basically what you telling me is that you just be lying to her, she can't tell.
No, I don't be lying to her. She was talking real English, baby. You know what I'm saying? She went to make it sound to talk a real profound English. That's why I tell them when let me know I'm doing my job. You gotta say my name.
What she say? Mom. Nope. Cut that.
And that's all, folks. And like we say,
no, keep it going. You can edit. But man,
you coming out, man.
Let me tell you something, man. The only reason I did this show is because I like your drive and you trying to do something, bro. And I love that dude over there, that Martin Scorsese Johnson over there. Y'all can't see him. He in the back.
But thank you for coming out, man.
Hey, man. Who got their phone up? Man, but we need to bring that back, bro.
Yeah, man.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for coming out.
Oh, wait, man.
As always.
The host?
No, it ain't my fault. Come out to Eduardo Leamon and get your cigars, get your breaks.
It's
a 2 cigar minimum, brother.